Hey guys, Lunster Plays here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use Sphero EDU to code. So today I'm going to be showing you a few simple commands just to give you the basics. So go into your first program, and we're going to start off with a couple of the basics, such as the movements of roll, stop, speed heading, they're kind of optional, spin, and yeah, so let's get into it. So to start off, we're going to use the roll. Now on the roll, you can see there's three options on it. There's the degrees, the speed, and the duration. Now changing these is pretty simple, and it will do what you say. Heading, you can change it to any degree you want, and it'll go in that direction. But for the basics, 0 is forward, 90 is to the right, 180 is to the backwards, and 270 is to the left. So we're going to keep that on 0 degrees now. We're going to change the speed. You can change it to anything you want, but we're just going to keep it on maximum. And finally, for the duration, you can choose any duration you want, all the way up to 999,999, which I don't know why you want to do it that long. So we're just going to put it on 10 and just leave it there. And you just attach it right to the code, and boom, whenever you hit start, it would do it. So now let's move on to the stop command. Now the thing is with the stop command, this can only really be used later when we get into the more advanced part of the coding, which still isn't really that advanced, but it really is obsolete right now because after it's done the 10 seconds of rolling, it will automatically stop. So we're just going to delete that real quick and move on to speed. Speed is the same as the speed on the roll, and it can be used for other things too. You can just move it up and down. For the heading is also the same as the heading in the roll. You can move whatever direction you want. That's more for, like I said, the further part of this video. But then we get on to spin. Spin, you can change it to however many degrees you want, 360 being a full circle spin. But you can set it all the way up to 999,999 or negative 999,999. So really, you have the freedom to do as many degrees as you want. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to keep it on 360 and set it for, just keep it 10-second trend. Yeah, 10 seconds. And I know 10 seconds is pretty slow, but it's whatever right now. We're not going to be really using this. Now we move on to the raw motor command. This is where you can make it shake or spin uncontrollably based on how you use it. And that's really the only fun way to do it. You can move the left and right motors, and you can set it for however long, forward or backwards. So you're going to keep it on 10 seconds. We're going to put the raw motor left on maximum, and then right motor you can put on whatever. We're going to keep that on maximum too, and it will spin uncontrollably when you do your code when it gets there. Next is stabilization. If you move the Sphero around in your hand, you will feel it moving on the inside because it's trying to right itself up. The point of stabilization is if it's on, it helps it roll a little bit easier because it can keep all its weight to the floor. So the reason that's helpful is because since all the weight's on the floor, only the outside is moving, therefore allowing it to roll a little bit faster. But you can really play around with it if you want. So we're going to put it on off just for reasons. And if you put it on the top, it will be the first thing that happens. So that means it would not roll as easy if you put it straight on the top. So we're actually going to put it on the bottom of the code underneath everything else. Because then once all the rolling is done, then it'll turn off the stabilization. So now we move on to reset aim. Reset aim is important because it just changes back to the original aim, so if your Sphero gets mixed up. And now we move over to main LED. This is how you can change the color of your Sphero. We're going to keep it on red. You can change the opacity at the bottom. Black is nothing, so if you do that live, you'd see that. Fade from, you can fade from a color to another, however long is the duration. Strobe, you can strobe a single color, how many times, for how many seconds. And back LED, I have not really found a purpose for what back LED is. I believe it didn't support the Sphero that I was using, so I never really used it. But now moving on to sounds, you can play basically any sound if you look and find it in here. There's a lot. You can see there's a lot of menus, and oh, they got a lot of noises in there that you can put in. So the thing is, you choose one of these, and you put it there. We're going to keep it on random, and it says wait or continue. If you put it on wait, it will play the sound and then keep going with the code. If you press continue, anything under it will keep going while it's playing. So it would play the sound while it rolled versus it would play the sound and then roll. But we're going to use a speak command instead. We're going to make it say, hello world. And it also has the same wait and continue commands that the play sound had. Now moving on to controls, we got delay, loop, and exit program. There's a lot of other loops or ifs in there, but those are kind of advanced. We're not going to go over those today because we need to keep this video short. So we're just going to be covering 3 of them: loop, delay, and exit program. There is a loop forever, but that's kind of self-explanatory. We're just going to use the loop however many times just to show you how you can set up a custom thing. You can put any code in there, like so, and it will loop that however many times you put in there. So you can put it at 6, so it'll do everything in that 6 times. But what you can do is you can put the delay command in the loop, so whenever it repeats itself, it'll wait, 5 seconds? Because I put down 5, it'll wait 5 seconds before it does it. And then if we tag on the exit program at the bottom, after it loops 6 times, it will stop. So you don't have to manually stop it at the top. It will automatically do it itself. So yeah, moving on, we're going to skip operators, comparators, and sensors because of time's sake. Or we will go over events. There's on collision, on landing, on free fall, on gyro max, which means maximum speed, on charging, and on not charging. So you can do things like on collision, go back to the movements. You can make it stop. You can make it stabilize, so put stabilization on. And then roll, make it roll backwards at whatever speed. We're just going to put this on 100 or 99. And for, 2 seconds? Yeah, 2 seconds. So what it does is if it crashes in, and then it would reset aim too. That's an important one. If it crashes into a wall, it'll stop what it's doing, it'll stabilize, it'll roll backwards for 2 seconds, and it'll reset its aim to where it was originally. So that can help because then it can go on the whatever course it was efficiently. And then any other events, you can do that with any other one. So if you're doing it on a table and it falls, I don't know how you get it back up on a table by rolling it backwards, but you can get creative with it. The events are probably the best part because you can make it have reactions to anything people do to it. That's all we're going to be going over today in this video. We went over the movements, lights, sounds, and controls and events for the Sphero EDU. And I hope you enjoyed.